Now, one thing that I think we all did not expect to happen in 2024 was a large portion of the media, a large portion of the Hollywood bubble, the film industry, whatever have you, beginning to turn on actor George Clooney, an A-list star, by the way, in the film industry, that is now beginning to shy away from many different celebrities out there. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, for those of you that have been following me for numerous years, I've always had my criticism with George Clooney, and specifically when it comes to his overall views of how things should be done in the industry, how things should be done in the real world, and that's exactly why I think a lot of these actors need to stay out of politics. It just needs to be the norm. And that's why I think that eventually you're going to see a shift where some actors and actresses are going to stay away from that because it's not good for business. But focusing on George Clooney here, there are a lot of individuals beginning to actually turn on George Clooney, one of which has a lot to do with not just Whoopi Goldberg, as we discussed a couple of days ago, but also now Joy Behar of The View. Let's dive into this. Now, look, we all know that there are a lot of scapegoating situations happening right now, and George Clooney is at the top of the list. And we have a lot of people out there like Goldberg, like Behar, beginning to really point the finger at George Clooney. And you know what? I think that George Clooney should have really saw this coming in the end, because at the end of the day, you know, we know that there's a lot of actors that are going through this blame game train right now, and a lot of them deserve it, to be honest. Now, when you look at George Clooney and the things that he said a couple of days ago about how the general public should look up to celebrities and how they should look up to these A-list stars instead of their neighbors, instead of the regular working, you know, people around them, is offensive, alright? But when you look at George Clooney here, this is where things begin to pick up, is that with the media and Hollywood already beginning to lose total control from the large portion of the public pushing back toward their ideology, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Joy Behar going on a rant about George Clooney and why Hollywood is turning against him. Behar delivered the following: "The only advice that I can give to Mr. Clooney is to stay out of politics from now on, because he didn't help anybody. If anything, he changed the entire outcome, and actors of his status need to stay away from that, what matters the most in the world. I really can't advocate his actions, and it's upsetting that he was part of swaying the entire outcome and why we are here today at the end of 2024, sad and upset about what the world is going to look like in the next 4 years. It's something irredeemable that he did, and he should feel sorry for what he should want to stay out of politics now after all of this. I don't feel sorry for him at one bit, I just don't, because look where we are right now. It's like we are witnessing the end of the world for women and for common sense, and it had to do with some of these actors opening a can of worms. This past summer was an unnecessary shift in our views, and Mr. Clooney contributed to that, and I can't defend him on that, because now we are witnessing misogyny and sexism ramping up from half the entire country that now feels vindicated. And it's depressing and sickening and quite frankly offensive to me as a human being, not just as a talk show host who aims to deliver the truth to the people, but like I and Whoopi said, and what Sonny told you all, some of these actors are way over their head and ruined it for all of us. Though I support his view on politics, I do not support how he opened up his mouth and how it led to us where we are today, because now sexism and misogyny is becoming the norm, and it's only a matter of time before we are going to have to deal with that at an increasing level, year by year, but for the next 4 years. It just leaves me shaking. I'm concerned. Mr. Clooney had no right to say the things that he said that swayed the entire outcome. I supported it then, but I don't support it now. This is why I think you need a backup plan, because now I see others are blaming us, too, for that outcome, and Sonny, and it's the most disgusting behavior that you can see coming from the general public. Now, guys, let me just stop here for one moment. Now, I believe a lot of this is coming from the fact that ABC executives, the Walt Disney Company, yes, Bob Iger, they are desperately trying to reframe The View. Alright, they want an alternate voice on the panel, on the actual set, on stage, when it's live on television. They want different opinions now. Suddenly out of nowhere, now they want different opinions. I think that A lot of people in the country, a lot of people throughout the entire world are smarter than that. Nobody's going to tune in to watch The View just because they get a different host or just because they get a different voice on there that has a different opinion. It's not going to fix anything at all. If anything, like I said, it makes their message even more clear that everything is disingenuous, alright? The fact that they are now, and only now, trying to reshape The View is insane. It really is. You know, if anything, they should fire the entire, talk show hosts, get some new people on there, put a brand new name on the show instead of The View, maybe make it called A New View, and really just have a brand new show in its entirety. And that's the only way that they could even hope to get any new ratings, because the ratings right now on ABC are really going down the toilet. Now, moving on forward, she goes on to conclude, "We demand an apology because we had nothing to do with anything. We never told any lies. All we did was deliver the truth to the people. And for people to sit there and claim that we had an agenda, for that we were using our platform to lie, and to the public is a false narrative that needs to be locked up quickly. It needs to be silenced. We need less A-list stars, ruining our chances in the future. I will continue to deliver the truth because we all can relate to the middle class, and so does Whoopi. It's what makes us relatable, and we deserve every chance that we can get to deliver the truth apart from what A-listers have to say." So, look, George Clooney is getting a lot of negative attention right now, and you know what? I don't feel sorry for him at all in the least based on what he said about the general public. A couple of days ago, we talked about this. Just to recap, he literally said that you must listen to celebrities, that celebrities are a must-have when it comes to getting the truth and getting a valid voice of reason. And to not trust anybody in your own social circle, or not to trust your typical neighbor. It really is sending a message that anybody below us is unnecessary. That's basically what George Clooney was really putting out there. And so that's why I don't feel bad for him that his own is beginning to turn against him right now. This is exactly why I say the woke, they eventually eat each other. They all begin to eat each other when the chips are down. It's just like the movie The Dark Knight, right? When you have the Joker delivering that line of dialogue. But again, like I say, I mean, this is all to be expected at the end of 2024, and you can have all the different views that you want, guys, alright? That's all welcome here below in the comments. That's all heavily respected. You know, whatever your views are politically, whatever your views are when it comes down to real world issues, that's fine and all. You know, I'm not going to judge anybody here, but focusing on these celebrities in isolation, that's what needs to be called out, and that's what needs to be addressed, because it's unnecessary and it's really unwelcome to the world. And I think it's really what has been setting everything back in the past numerous years when it comes to entertainment. So overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about George Clooney, about Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, The View, by the way, and what's going on over at ABC. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about for the remainder of the week, so stay tuned on that. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.